All right. Hello, team. Okay, so tonight we are going to be talking all about Facebook and why you even want to be posting on there as a coach and how to post, how to figure out what to post, when to post, tips, all, I'm laying everything out there for you guys. So, all right, because in Beachbody, and in life in general, we should always start with why. Why you want to be posting on Facebook and why you need to be posting on Facebook as a coach. Your conversations that you have in Messenger, in person, with whoever, plant seeds. Okay, we've talked a lot about that, how those conversations, just planting seeds and you're kind of just building a relationship. Your posts water those seeds. So those seeds might end up growing and they might end up, piquing interest because they randomly remembered a message that they got from you. But it's much more likely that when you continue to share your journey, you're sharing more about you and they can resonate with that. And they're going to end up picking little things out of your posts. And it's also a really good reminder that you're just showing up consistently. And that way, when they're ready to start on their health and fitness journey, they know that you're there. If it was just a random message that you sent to them, or say you even had a conversation, how's life, how's everything going? But then 3 months later, they're finally ready to pull the trigger and do stuff with health and fitness. They're not going to know that you're still a coach if you don't continue to post on Facebook. So that's one of the reasons you can reach people so much easier. So I've gotten the question well, can't I just, reach out to people that I know and do it over the phone and, join more groups, at church and at my kids' school and stuff like that. You totally can do that. And I don't want to discourage that by any means because that actual, human to human contact is awesome. But by posting, you're reaching out to a lot more people. And if you want to build this business to make it be so that your dreams and your vision that you have for your life come true and you truly feel fulfilled by helping people, posting on Facebook is going to get you there so much faster than if you tried to do it all in person. The third thing of why we need to be posting is that it's not invasive. It's really, really nice because you can just be sharing your story and you're putting yourself out there and they're getting to know you, but you're not knocking down their door. It's not saying that your messages need to be invasive by any means at all, but it's just such a nice blanket way of putting yourself out there, reaching out your hand without specifically calling out people hey, I think you need me and you need me and you need me. The fourth thing, and honestly probably the most important, I've said it a couple times already, your posts, are you putting yourself out there? So you're building your brand. Okay, so I thought about this and it's I've heard, your Facebook is your storefront, and if you don't show up and you don't post, people are going to think that your doors are closed. Okay, so when you go somewhere and say, I just went to the Pig and well, they're usually open till 9, but their light was off and I didn't see anybody there. It was really weird, It's kind of the same way. But I thought about it today and it's you're building your brand through your posts. Your brand is you, okay? So let's just be really, really clear about that. I totally did not understand what your brand meant. I feel like I'm supposed to make something up that's not me. I'm supposed to put on a front and I was really confused. No. Your brand is you, okay? So you're building your brand by putting yourself out there. think about this for a second. So say a Girl Scout would come to your door. You've never heard of Girl Scouts before, and yet this girl's trying to sell you cookies. Like, what? I don't even know what Girl Scouts is all about. What's your mission? I don't even know what you're doing. If they didn't build a brand, you would think it's really weird if some little girl would show up on your doorstep and start selling you cookies, right? And you wouldn't even want them because it's like, okay, I don't know where this money's going to, but I guess you're cute. I might buy a couple boxes. Your brand builds trust. So we need to start with your avatar and start with your brand when we're talking about posting on Facebook. So you got to think about what are your avatar's fears? Like, your avatar is your ideal customer, your ideal coach, okay? Somebody that you would just totally mesh with really, really well. For me, my avatar is the 2014 version of Lacey. And I speak to her a lot. Anytime I post, I'm posting with the thought that the 2014 version of me would need to hear this. So what are your fears? What do you Google? What do you look up on Pinterest? Like, when you search on Pinterest, what are you searching for? Are you looking for more recipes? Are you looking for really fun, inspirational quotes? Are you looking for more things that are, like your personality, and you're learning more about that? Are you learning more about how to be a better parent, or say you have, like for me, I have a very sensitive child, and I definitely wanted to just kind of learn about that. I wanted to learn about how to be the best parent for him. What would she, meaning your avatar, because we're all girls so far on my team, and I'm guessing that your ideal coach or customer would be a woman. But yeah, what would she want to read about? Let's see here. Okay, so I was just reading more questions that I had written down about starting with your avatar. Okay, so wrapping that all together, when you ask yourself those questions, it actually becomes very easy to post on Facebook because you know what to post about, okay? That like general heartbeat of your posts is always going to be that you're speaking to that woman, okay? So I can definitely do more training on avatar, or, seriously, there's a lot of training out there. Just look it up on YouTube. There's longer trainings on it. There's really short stuff. So there's a lot of videos that you can look up as far as making a Beachbody avatar. Okay, so start with that. By speaking to that person, you're building your brand. Okay, now I mentioned as far as the Girl Scout cookie example, like if I didn't know what the mission of Girl Scouts was, I wouldn't really be all that interested in buying cookies from them. Like, yeah, their cookies taste good, everything like that, but if I didn't really know what their mission was and be on board with that and want to support that, I wouldn't be as apt to actually pull the trigger and spend money on it. The same is true for us. And we're not charity cases. It's different in that way. But when people know what your mission is and why you're doing this, why you've got your soul set on fire, and why you're a Beachbody coach, they're going to be so much more open to just opening up with you. Even if it doesn't lead to Beachbody, say you connect on a parenting level, that's awesome. Because then you're just building that relationship. And then by you continuing to post about all sorts of different things, different ways that Beachbody has made a difference in your life, then they can like start to resonate with you, and one thing leads to another and they end up being your customer. Okay, so actually I'm going to go into when to post and also do kind of how to create your posts all at the same time. Okay, so when to post, I would honestly just figure out when your avatar is on Facebook. Okay, so for me, the 2014 version of me was on Facebook. I would get out of the shower in the morning and I was getting ready for work, and I would, like be doing my makeup and scrolling on Facebook at the same time because, Lord knows I can't do just one thing at a time. So for me, I would have loved to see sunshiny, positive posts in the morning. Something fun, something vibrant, probably a quote would be the best way to get me started and like set my day off on the right foot. Okay, so that's what I usually would post right away in the morning, is something short and simple, because my avatar does not have time to read really long posts right away in the morning. But yet I want to start her day off on the right foot. And I want her to think, dang, that really uplifted me this morning, and they're going to start coming back to my page because they like the vibe. You want to put yourself out there so that they are attracted to you. Which, by the way, means that you are going to end up repelling people. So people who, are super crabby in the morning and don't want to be uplifted, they're going to be repelled by my super bubbly posts. That's okay. Like, you want that, okay? It sounds really weird. It sounds weird to like want to repel people, but it's true. Like, you want to work with the people who are like you. So really super crabby people who don't want to read uplifting posts are not my jam. I don't want to deal with them. So weed them out right away and you'll be good to go, and you'll actually work with people who get you. Okay? So going along with the when to post, I usually would do it short, simple, a bright kind of fun quote to start off their day. Usually about 6:30 in the morning I would do that. And this is totally just mine, but you can take it. I mean, you can use it, you can tweak it to be your own, whatever. I mean, this is all for you guys to use. Around 11:45 in the morning, I want to post something that hits people while they are on their lunch break. Now, for me, when I would go to lunch, I wanted to go home and be with my kids. Like, that's what I wanted. So a lot of times around lunchtime, I will post something either that Kendra and I did in the morning, or that like we're doing right now that I didn't get to do when I was working. I don't do that to rub that in people's faces. I do that for them to see the light that coaching can actually make that be a reality for them. I'm painting that picture and I'm helping them to see that vision of, I actually could do that. So in that type of a post where you are showing them that vision, it's not off limits by any means to say something about like, this is my reality, but this can be your reality too. Like, I'm not this like freak of nature who, is the only one who's ever made it as a coach. Like, this can be your reality too. Let's see here. Usually around like 4 to 6 o'clock at night, something like that, I'll post something about the kids. Just throwing something out there. That's also a good time, to post what I'm making for supper. Just kind of, that's it. I usually do put a post up at that time, but it can be of just about anything. I don't have a whole, like a theme in my head for that. And then the best time to post long, vulnerable posts where you're just spilling your heart and talking about your journey. It doesn't even have to be long. So it can be a short one talking about your journey, but the best time to post is around 8 o'clock at night for my avatar. So for me, that's right after she would put her kids to bed. So put the kids to bed and usually jump on Facebook after that. It's usually what they would do, So I would post about my journey. I might post about how, I've decided that I'm taking a break from coaching tonight and I'm going to sit down on the couch and enjoy it with my husband. Because I also want people to know that I'm not doing this 24/7 and that I am taking time to soak up time with my husband and soak up time with my kids. And I'm not plugged in 24/7 because that would have been a turnoff for me. I actually am plugged in more than I even want to be, so I personally need to dial that back so that I truly can show people that you can coach without being connected constantly. So that's kind of what like my time schedule looks like. I totally recommend posting 3 to 5 times a day. Minimum of 3 times, definitely. Because you don't want to constantly be posting about Beachbody and Beachbody only. But having one post every day that shares something that's going on within your journey is a necessity. Like, that's something that you need to do, is to post at least just one time every day. It is really important too to not take all 3 to 5 of those posts and make them all about Beachbody. Because when I was listening to a YouTube video, something in my personal development, and they were talking about it and actually equating it to a TV channel. Okay, so your Facebook is like a TV channel. Okay, if you turned on channel 64, let's say, and it constantly had infomercials on it, you would not turn on that channel anymore. Like, I don't want to sit here and watch infomercials. Even if it's something I'm kind of interested in, I'm not gonna be drawn back to that. But if it's like a really good show and a really good show and a really good show, oh, that's random. There's an infomercial on here. It's totally different, okay? So you don't want to have all of your posts be about Beachbody, because people, even if they might be interested in it, are going to get burnt out by that. Okay, so finding that happy medium between, not posting at all about Beachbody and posting all the time, that happy medium that I have found to work amazingly well and actually, keeps people attracted into me, is just one post a day about Beachbody. Okay, so like page, completely and totally different, but I'm just talking personal page of Facebook right now. So, okay, this is like my favorite part. Okay, how to create your posts. I get like all geeky about this because it's like a system and I love systems. So, how to create your posts. I worked with one of the coaches on our team, and we cranked out a whole month's worth of one post every day in, maybe like a half hour. I mean, this stuff can be super systematic and really easy, okay? My tip number 1 of how to create posts is to use theme days. It works amazingly well, and it gives you a really good variety that you're posting about. So you can make up whatever theme days you want, okay? So the ones that come to mind for me the most is Motivation Monday, Tasty Tuesday, Why Wednesday, Thirsty Thursday, Freedom or Flex Friday. I like Freedom Friday because then you can talk about coaching. Or not even coaching, but just like how your program has created freedom in your life. I have the freedom to play with my kids now that I lost, 25 pounds or whatever it might be. So Freedom Friday or Flex Friday, Savor Saturday, how you are savoring your weekend and just slowing down and chilling out, and then Spiritual Sunday. And I like posting something about faith. So those are just my examples, but what you can do and how to create all of those posts within 30 minutes, like I was talking about. Okay, so Motivation Monday, go on Pinterest, go on Google. Actually, go on Google, because Pinterest is fine, but then if you don't save the image right, you got that little magnifying glass in the corner. It just looks funny. It's just me being anal. But go to Google, type in Monday motivation quotes. Okay, so you might get some fitness, you might get some just life, whatever it might be. Let's see here, find 4 of them. If you're doing it for like a month chunk, find 4 of them that resonate with you, that your avatar, who you're speaking to, is going to be drawn to. Tasty Tuesday, go find your favorite 4 recipes that you have had and you've enjoyed. And whether it be links, pictures, whatever, find your favorite 4 recipes, and those will be your 4 posts for your next 4 Tuesdays. For your why Wednesday, you could even do Wacky Wednesday if you want. But whatever it is, if it's why, think of 4 reasons why you decided to be a coach. And then those are your next 4 Wednesdays. That's one of your posts. You could even do Wacky Wednesday and Why Wednesday. You don't even have to call it in your post Why Wednesday. You can just always remember that you talk about your why on Wednesday. So then, wacky. Okay, so figure out 4 things that make you laugh. What makes you laugh? And post it. One every Wednesday for the next 4 Wednesdays. Okay? Thirsty Thursday, you can talk about Shakeology. You can talk about water. You can talk about wine if you want to. I mean, if you're a wine person or a beer person, whatever. You can talk about energize. You can talk about recover. Any sort of drinks that you want to talk about fall under Thirsty Thursday. So figure out 4 posts that you would want to talk about and share with people that way. Flex Friday is easy to do on the spot, or figure out, find a quote on Flex Friday. If quotes are your thing, quotes are totally my deal. I love quotes. So that is definitely my thing. So Freedom Friday, figuring out 4 ways that you feel free. Okay. This is all just brain dump, just off the top of your head. If I were to ask you right now, what are 4 ways that you feel freedom? Not even business related. That almost came out bad. Not even business related. It doesn't have to be I feel free at 5 o'clock every Friday, and dang it, I'm going to, bust my ass in order to, be so that I can have that freedom of the weekend all the time. Whatever it might be, okay? Savor Saturday, what are your favorite things to do to just slow down? I know for my avatar, she needs to slow down. She needs to just take a chill pill and just, so she's going to need some tips on how to actually do that. because just saying, hey, Lacey's avatar, slow down, it's not going to work. It's like, okay, yeah, but I have this and this and this and this and this too. No, so you just have to kind of get inside your avatar's head. And then Spiritual Sunday, if you're not spiritual, figure out something else for Sunday. Self-love Sunday. That's actually something I'm doing in my Feel Good Fall group right now. And I'm encouraging people to look in the mirror and find something they love about their body or about their personality or about their relationships or whatever. So that is how you can use theme days to create a crap ton of posts all in a short time frame. Okay, so you can have this whole arsenal of posts to just pick from. So you can use Google Docs, you can use a notebook, you can use Word, whatever is the easiest for you to stay organized and just like keep all of those posts so you have them ready so that when that day comes, you have that one post, it's good to go. That's one thing that I have found to be a lifesaver. I have days where I have this like brain that just wants to write. I'm just on content creation mode and I can write and I can write and I can write. And I've got like so many feelings and I can get them all out and it sounds good. And those days happen like maybe twice a month. So when you guys see posts from me that are deep and they're vulnerable, I don't always feel vulnerable. But when I do, I spill my heart in a Google Doc. And that way I can access it in the app on my phone and I can also access it on my computer. So it syncs together and that is a lifesaver for me. So when it comes to having those days where that content creation just flows and flows and flows, I take full advantage of it. And I just write out a whole bunch of posts. I might schedule them. Postcron.com. So it's postcron.com is a really, really good website. You can schedule up to 10 posts for free. I have the paid version of it because I use it like crazy and I use it for all of my groups. So you can schedule out those posts. And that way, if you're not up at 6:30 a.m., but your avatar would be, schedule it out. And that, that way everybody will see it at that specific time that you want them to. Okay. If you want to learn more about Postcron, just let me know. I love it. I'm not necessarily a guru in it, but I can definitely help walk you through it. Okay, so I know I'm kind of going fast, but I have one last category, and that's Facebook tips. Okay, and then we'll go into questions. So a couple of tips. First of all, the team call for Dedication Nation that was done by Kelsey. It was Kelsey Winter, and now she's Kelsey Gygi. I think it's like Gygi. She did an entire call on social media and Facebook, and it was amazing. So these tips are actually coming from her. First of all, videos get a ton of traction. You're going to get way better traction on videos, and a lot more people are going to see them in their news feed than pictures. Okay? Tip number 2, tag your spouse in your posts. Even if it's Beachbody and it's completely unrelated to him, it doesn't matter because more people are going to see it and you're going to reach more people. Then if people like that post that are not your friends yet, you can click into the who likes your post, add them as friends. And that way they'll end up seeing all of your stuff. The reason why I say this and I stress it so much is that Danielle Whitford wouldn't really even be a coach right now if Liz Hartke hadn't tagged Michael, her husband, in her posts. So it is super important. You don't know who your next rock star coach is going to be. So tag those people, tag your spouse, and that way it's going to be seen by so many more eyes. Okay? Tagging yourself later. Okay, so if you post a picture of yourself and it wants to automatically tag you, click that little X button by the tag and do not let it tag you at that point in time. The reason being is that, like, I'll do this, especially if I post something about being a stay-at-home mom during the lunchtime, and yet I want people to see it at 8 o'clock at night. I'll tag myself at 8 o'clock at night, because then it'll kind of show up again in people's news feeds. And it'll say, Lacey Bussey was tagged in a post, and it'll have that post. So it's another way to, like, it's almost like refreshing it in their news feeds. Like your post immediately after you post it. The more likes, comments, and shares that you get on your post, and having that be quickly after you post it, Facebook realizes they don't know that it's you liking your own post, but Facebook realizes, hey, wait a second, people are liking this post. The algorithm says I'm going to push this out into more people's news feeds. Okay, so this is the last tip that I have, and I've saved my favorite for last. Post a question. So like your picture, a picture with a question, and have it be something that, it can be all sorts of stuff. You can talk about potty training. You can talk about, I don't know, babies sleeping on their back versus sleeping on their stomach, whatever. I mean, it can be completely controversial. You can, like, not even give a crap about what their responses are, honestly. But post a question that's going to get a lot of comments on it. And then probably 2 to 6 hours after that, post something that you want a ton of people to see. Whether it be a vulnerable post, your before and after, invite to a challenge group, whatever that might be that you want a lot of people to see. The reason being is that you've kind of like primed the pump of Facebook. You've told Facebook from that post with your question that all of these people who comment want to see more of your posts. So when you post your post later, like 2 to 6 hours later, Facebook is going to say, hey, you know what? All of these people interacted on her last post. We're going to push this new post out into all of those people's news feeds. So it's a really good way to get yourself seen. I thought of something else and I don't remember what it was right now. But that's honestly about all that I have. I know that was a lot of information, but Amanda, do you have any questions?
I don't right now. I don't know. I think I'm just taking it all in still.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff written down.
I know, and it is recorded. So I'll share the recording in our team page so that you can watch it again. This took me a while to like really wrap my head around, but it's something that since I've learned it, I've become very passionate about it, and it's fun to kind of play with the algorithms, and try to just figure out different ways to get your posts seen, because you're spending time posting on Facebook and you want to actually have something come of it. You want to be able to help those people. So it's kind of fun to figure out how to be seen more.
Okay.
So, yeah. And I mean, honestly, part of developing your brand is getting vulnerable. Like, I know it's not fun, but you know what? Like when you are and you step out of your comfort zone and you have one of those like, okay, I'm just going to hit post. I'm just going to do it. And then all of a sudden somebody comments on it and says, like they've said to me, like, Lacey, I'm so glad that you posted this. I love your honesty. I love how raw you are and how upfront you are. And it makes me realize that I am connecting with people, even though it's through a screen. Like, I'm not even physically by them, but I'm connecting with them. And that is exactly what I wanted to do as a coach. Like, that's why I wanted to coach, was because I wanted to help them, and I wanted to make them know that they're not alone in their struggles and that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. So spend some time figuring out your avatar. I would say that's probably step number one. But even if you don't have that nailed down, start posting. Like 3 to 5 times, just start posting and do a brain dump and figure out how to do that. Like, do you know what I mean by brain dump? Okay. Like, that's so a Chalene term. And I'm like, I use that term often because I do it often. I really do. Just completely blank sheet of paper, all my thoughts and everything, just let it all spill out onto there. So Google Docs has been my friend. I love doing talk to text, especially because I have a lot of thoughts flying around up there. And when I can just talk it all out, I can talk faster than I can type. So, all right, dear. Well, I'm going to wrap it up, and I will talk to you soon, okay?